is up, Voodoo Tribe? It is your girl Naja, and I'm back with another video. So this video is going to be another story time. I know it is prom season, apparently. When I was in high school, prom was around like April, but a lot of you guys are talking about prom this, prom that, and I'm like, really? Like, did the times change that much? Like by a month though? Like, so I decided to bless you guys with a prom story time. Now, I told you guys my first ever prom story time. I'll put it up here somewhere. That was my junior year prom where I ended up at the damn trap house. But this is going to be my senior prom, and I've never had a good prom ever, and this just took the damn cake. I wish like I never even went to prom because of this whole situation. And I know you guys are reading the title and you're like, are you fucking kidding me? Yes, this actually happened. This is not clickbait. This is not a lie. Nothing coming out of my mouth is a lie. Like, it happened. So I am here to tell my story because it happened. No shade, but it happened. Y'all already know who this is about, obviously. I'm just gonna get right into it. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give me a huge thumbs up. It helps me get noticed in this crazy ass world of YouTube. And here we go. So my senior year, I was 17. I got skipped up a grade when I moved down to Florida, so I was always the youngest person in my class, whichever it was, and I was the youngest person in my graduating class. So I was only 17, and of course I was dating this guy named L. If you do not know who L is, go ahead and watch some of my other story times, get caught up. I was dating L at the time, and he was 21 and I was 17. So he was literally at the brink of when he could not even go to my prom. Like 21 was the cutoff age of when you're allowed to come because they don't want somebody bringing alcohol and shit like that to the prom. He was about to turn 21 like that May of the prom. Like his birthday is in May and then the prom happened in like April or so. So he literally just met the cutoff of being able to be allowed to go to my prom. I had bought a dress off of the internet. Don't do it, girls. Like, don't buy your dress off of the internet. Go to like a boutique or something, try on your dress, because my dress did not look anything like the picture on the internet, and it fit me horribly, like horribly. Like, I looked a mess. It was, for one, I don't know why, but when I was skinny, I thought that I was a medium when I was like an extra small or a small. So I got a medium dress. It was too big for me. I had to do my own adjustments because you guys know I went to college for fashion, so I know how to sew and shit. So I had to do my own adjustments to the dress, and it was just a mess. It did not look how I wanted it to look. And then I got my first ever sew-in in my life, and it was a hot ass mess. I had like a leave out and it just did not look cute. Like, a lot of people were gassing me up about it, telling me that I look good, but I think it's just because they had never seen me like y'all see how I am now, like, you know, looking snatched, looking like a whole snack. I did not look like that back then. Like, I did not know how to do anything with my hair except for play with it in its natural state. But I did want straight hair, but I knew it was the spring and my hair could not withstand that. Like, it would poof out. So I went and professionally got it done by this girl, but I should have got more of a bigger leave out, if that makes any sense. And she could have put some type of product to keep my hair straightened on the outside in hot weather, like a chi serum or something, because that's what I use now. Because like, even in Florida, I only straighten my hair once a year in the winter time, but sometimes we get like 80 degrees out of nowhere in the winter time, but that chi serum keeps my shit nice. But no, she just left like this much of a leave out, right? And the rest was a sew-in. So this little part, I couldn't put it in a ponytail. I couldn't do shit. But my mom curled it for me. He picked me up in his beat down ass car and he came into my living room. My mom wanted to take all these pictures, and like, they were so cringy. They looked so ugly. Like, I was looking ratchet. He had like this ratchet ass high top. Like, we both looked a hot ass mess. Like, I'm not even about to bash him on that. Like, we both looked a hot ass mess. So I get in his car and we drive to the prom, and I see all my friends there. There's a whole bunch of people. Some of the girls were like kind of looking at him, and like, I didn't catch on because I'm a duck, but some things happened later on and I realized why that they were looking at him. But it was kind of awkward. I felt really awkward. The shoes I was wearing hurt my feet. I looked a hot ass mess. Like, I wish I had pictures, but I don't, because I burned all the pictures with this nigga in it. Like a psycho bitch, I burned everything. So like, I don't have any photos of my prom anymore. I think my grandmother may have some, but I doubt it, because when I saw one at her house, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, no, get that the fuck out of here. Like, what the fuck? Especially because it's awkward because she has all these pictures of like me and Daniel around her house, and then you got my prom picture with my ex. Like, get that, what are you doing? Like, get that out of here. At the prom, we weren't even at the prom for more than like an hour. Like, I was not feeling it. I wanted to go to an after party. I had some friends who were going to be throwing an after party that weren't even going to prom. They just told their parents they were going to prom, and they really got a hotel. So I was kind of like, you know what, I'm kind of ready to go to that. This friend hasn't really been introduced. I'm gonna call her Bailey. Fuck it. So Bailey was having a hotel party. I had known Bailey for some time. Me and Bailey were really close. The first time I ever smoked weed was with Bailey. Like, me and Bailey were really cool, but her personality was just very controlling, and I didn't like that. So once we graduated, I kind of was just like, okay, cut you off, like, doing my own thing. But yeah, Bailey didn't go to prom. She didn't have a date, so she just got a hotel. Her mom got her a hotel, and she was over there, and we're gonna call another friend Jade. So Chloe and Jade didn't go to prom, and they had their own little thing over there. Well, Jade did go to prom because she had another boyfriend named Jacob. No, she had broken up with that boy. So yeah, I was right the first time. It was Jade and Bailey. So I told Elle, I was like, yeah, I kind of want to go to their party now. I'm kind of bored. And he was like, yeah, I'm kind of over it too. So we had drove to the after party or whatever at the hotel, and everybody was chilling. It was a whole bunch of people in there. Like, it was a whole bunch of people. Everybody wasn't really turning up yet. Like, there was some bottles on the table, but nobody was really turning up. I got some drinks, you know, I was drinking a little bit. Elle was drinking too, but not really, until my friends came in. We're gonna call them Dana and David. I know these are a lot of characters, but keep up. It was Bailey's party. Jade is Bailey's best friend, okay? And she didn't go to prom either because she broke up with her nigga. And then we got Dana and David, who are my friends, as like my friends as well. Like, I was cool with both of them, and they are a couple, right? And me, Dana, David, and Elle have all tried to like be friends together because we weren't like the other people at that party. Like, we were bad. Like, we were bad. We would do drugs, we would go to parties and stuff, and that crew wasn't like that. Like, that crew wasn't like Squeak and Pisces and all them. Like, they were goody two shoes. All they did was smoke weed and drink. Like, we were doing other shit, right? So David goes up to Elle and is like, hey bro, what's up, you know, blah blah blah. They have their own bottle, right? But they have been drinking a bottle of Patron already, right? So David and Elle, being dudes, are like chugging the fucking bottle, like doing contests to see how long you could take your shot and stuff like that. And I'm just like, bro, y'all are hell no. And then like, I wasn't even really a drinker like that back then. I was more of a smoker. So I'm over here smoking a blunt like with Bailey and Jade, you know. Jade was drinking though. Like, she had a few drinks. Like, she was drinking a lot, right? I remember Dana and David were like, yeah, we're about to leave. And I'm like, okay, because I guess they didn't think the party was that bumping, so they were gonna leave. So they go to their car, right? And like, I'm kind of nervous because you know, like, you see those things on TV of kids driving from parties on prom night and they're drunk and then they die. So like, I was really concerned, and I had went up to Bailey and I was like, hey Bailey, like, Dana and David were like drinking out the bottle. Like, they're pretty fucked up and they just said they're about to leave. Like, would you, like, why can't they just crash here? And she was like, oh, well, I told them they could crash here. They said they weren't, but they're leaving? Yeah, they're leaving. Oh shit, well, like, I'm really like tied up. Like, this is my party. A lot of people are here. Like, do you mind going to check on them? And I'm like, no, I don't mind. So I went downstairs. I left Elle at the party. I went downstairs to the parking lot, and y'all, I don't care what anybody says, bruh. I genuinely feel like I saved my friend's life this night. Like, literally, I feel like I saved their fucking life. So I go into the parking lot, and David's in the driver's seat, and his hand is on the wheel, and his head is slumped over, right? And there's throw up all over the fucking concrete. I look in the passenger side. Dana has throw up all over her chest, and the car is in drive, but David's foot is on the gas. And I went up there, I was like, yo, y'all need to chill. Like, y'all don't need to go nowhere, y'all need to chill. Hey, bro, we can't, we gotta go home, we got stuff to do, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, bro, look at you. You cannot, you physically cannot drive. Like, please don't do it. Please, like, please, just for me, just stay here. Like, I don't want y'all to die. Like, please stay here. And I'm in the parking lot begging with they ass, like, please do not drive. And like, they're not understanding me. So like, I went around the throw up and I put the gear and to park. So at least then the car isn't driving off. But mind y'all, the car is like this, like slanted and fucked up in the parking lot. So I'm like, I need help. Like, I need help to get these people out of the car and back upstairs, because you can't have teenagers drunk throwing up in the parking lot, because then they're gonna be like, who are you with? And then Bailey's gonna get in trouble, and Bailey made it my job to make sure that they're straight. So I'm like, fuck. So two dudes that were supposed to go to the party who I knew from high school, they saw me and they're like,
hey Naja, what's going on?
And I told them, I'm like, look, like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, bro. Like, they're fucked up. They won't get out the car. Like, they're not listening to me. They keep trying to drive off.
Okay, you go inside and you go tell Bailey what's going on, and I'm gonna stay down here and like help them or whatever.
So I go back upstairs to the apartment, I mean the hotel, and I'm freaking out. I'm worried because like this is some fucking Lifetime shit. Like, I didn't think this could happen in real life. Like, this is scary. So I go upstairs and I tell Bailey what's going on. She was like,
are you fucking kidding me? Like, why is all this shit happening?
What do you mean all this shit?
Bro, go look at your nigga.
And I was like, what?
He's in the room.
And I'm like, okay. So I walk in the room, but I'm not like, hey, where you, like, none of that. I just walk in the room. And Jade is passed out on the bed drunk. And she's wearing a dress. She's wearing her prom dress. And she's passed out on the bed drunk. Because mind you, I told y'all, Jade and Bailey did not go to prom. Bailey's mom knew that Bailey wasn't going to prom. She bought the hotel. But Jade's mom thought that Jade was actually going to prom. So Jade was dressed up like going to prom. So she was wearing like a little sparkly prom dress. And it was lifted up. And I see Elle on the bed next to her. And he's like touching on her leg. But she is like knocked out. Like, she's fucked up. She's knocked out. And then here go this creep scumbag rubbing on her leg. And I grabbed his shoulder and I pushed him off of her. I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh shit, I thought she was you. Oh shit.
Nigga. Let me give y'all a physical description of Jade. Jade is tall. She's tall. At the time, she was very thin. She's dark skinned. She got long, like at the time, she had like long body wave weave like this. How did you think she was me? Like, how did you think she was me? And then it doesn't make it any better. If I'm knocked out somewhere, I'm gonna need you to not be touching on me. Like, what the fuck? So I was just like, bro, you need to like get up, go lay down on the couch. Like, because at this point, I was just like, bro, like, I'm about to protect my friends. Like, cause I was always that type of girl where it's like my friends over my nigga. Especially if I have an ain't shit ass nigga, like, I'm about to be looking after my friends first. So two of my friends are in the car drunk as fuck that we're trying to get out. And then another one of my friends is really drunk, like laid out on the bed with her skirt up. And my dude is trying to feel on her while she's knocked out. So I told him, I pushed him and I made him go to the couch. And then I went back in the room and I pulled Jade's dress back down. And then I put some blankets over her. So I went back downstairs, right? And why did the car that Dana and David were in was like moved even more out? Like, they put it back in drive and they were moving and they got more throw up all over the floor. Like, it was a mess, like a total mess. And like, I was like, dude, I can't do this. Like, this is my prom night. This is not my party. Like, this is too fucking much. But at this point, they were knocked out and the car was off. One of the dudes that was trying to help me earlier, he came up to me and he was like,
here are their car keys.
Took the car keys. We both went back upstairs and gave Bailey the car keys of Dana and David. And we were like, yeah, they're in the middle of the road, but they're not trying to listen to us. So at least we just took their car keys. Like, they can't go anywhere. So she was like, all right, bet. So apparently when I was gone, this nigga L moved back into the bedroom, right? But I didn't know that yet. So L at this point is a little bit more awake. And I told him, I was like, dude, I want to go home. Like, I want to go home. And he's just like,
I'm too drunk. I can't drive. Like, I thought we were just going to pass out here.
There's nowhere to pass out. Like, we did not put in for this room. Like, we're going home. And I wasn't even drinking like that. Like, I was pretty much borderline sober. Like, you know when you have to help people all the time, your liquor gets out your system like that. Like, I was sober at that point. I'm like, I'm ready to go home. This is too much. Like, what the fuck? Pretty much, he wasn't trying to drive. So I took his keys and I'm like, all right, well, I'm about to drive us home. He has like he had like an old school ass Cadillac. till this day, I really don't know how to drive big body cars. I mean, like, I've driven moving vans and moving trucks before, so I guess a little bit, but back then, like, I was hitting curbs. I didn't give, like, but look, I got us the fuck home, right? So boom, that was my prom night. So I go to school the next day, and all of my friends are just like, cause we all met up at like a little pod or whatever. I go to school and I'm like, damn guys, last night was crazy, right? And they're kind of just looking at me like they got something to tell me, but they don't know how to tell me. And I'm like, what? Like, what's up? Like, and Bailey was like,
Naja L was like, he was touching on Jade last night.
Really? Because I caught him, and I told him, I was like, I caught him doing it once, but I made him sit on the couch.
No, like, he went back in the room and he was touching on Jade.
And I was like, bro, are you fucking kidding me? Like, and I just looked at Jade, and she just looked so uncomfortable, and like, I just felt so bad for her, because like, that's like every girl's worst nightmare, is to be taken advantage of on prom night. I don't know to the extent of what he did to her, but when I walked in on him, he was like touching on her leg and shit. So I don't know what he did to her, but from what she told me that she told him to like get out the room, like get the fuck out the room and shit. Like, she was fucked up, but she didn't want nobody touching on her. And then that's when he walked back out of the room, and that's when I came back upstairs from fucking with Dana and David's dumbasses with the car. So after she told me that, they were like, Naja, you gotta break up with him, you gotta break up with him. But my stupid ass, my dumb ass was like, oh, well, I mean, he was drunk, we were all drunk, but I did catch him doing that to you, and that shit pissed me off, and I'm gonna confront him about it. So of course I confronted him about it, and he was like,
oh, I don't even remember any of that, I thought it was you, blah blah blah.
And I'm just like, really, nigga? Like, really? And then from that point on, like, none of my friends liked him, and I could never bring him around any of my friends. He's always tried to do, like, even on my 18th birthday, he tried to fuck Pisces, and like, it made her so uncomfortable. Like, nobody liked him because he was always trying to fuck everyone around me, and like, yeah, it was a mess. And that was my prom night. Yeah, guys, hopefully you guys have a way better prom than I've had. Both of my proms have been super shitty. And good luck to you guys. Please stay safe. Please do not drink and drive. If you do have one of your friends that looks really intoxicated, please take their keys, call their parents, whatever the fuck you need to do to save their fucking life, because it's not worth it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
The truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off.